Okay, there have been several immigration questions sent to me, so let me ask one of those. Should all immigrants speak English, i.e. pass an English proficiency exam before becoming legally employed? Should all immigrants learn to speak English and pass a proficiency exam before they can be legally employed? Mr. Coates.
I'm the son of an immigrant. My mother was born and raised...
Mr. Coates, maybe clarification. This isn't citizenship because that takes a long time, so it's the legal employment issue.
I'm the son of an immigrant. My mother came from Sweden with 5 sisters and 2 brothers and her mother. Her father had come earlier, started a farm. They were coming to join him after he qualified, after they qualified. On the ship coming into Ellis Island, her mother gathered them. This is a story I'll never forget because my mother told us as we were young and over and over. Her mother gathered all the children together and said, from this point forward, I don't ever want to hear another word of Swedish. We are Americans now. Immigration reform has to be addressed and addressed immediately. And it has to be limited to legal immigration. And no excuse, no other circumstance that allows illegal immigrants to stay in this country needs to be accepted.
You touched on one of my hot buttons, Doctor. One of the greatest pet peeves I have is to pick up the phone, call someone, and hear for English, press 1. The United States of America is an English-speaking nation. I'm glad we are a nation of immigrants. We are the beacon of freedom and hope for the American dream to the rest of the world. But it's time that we make English the official language of the United States of America. Taking a proficiency exam.
Mr. Maney.
You know, there's 2 facts about our country. One is we are a nation of immigrants. That's what makes us great. All different races, colors, cultures. We're also a republic of laws. And we live by the law. You know, if you come to my house, the front light is on, the porch light's on. You're welcome. Come knock on the front door, we'll open up, come on in. If I catch you climbing through the back window, in my house, I'm likely to, we don't need another YouTube moment, but I don't know what's going on. You know, and while you're in my house, I ask that you live by my house rules. And I would like that you speak English. Thank you very much. So yes, English should be our national language.
Mr. Stutzman.
My family first came to the United States from Switzerland, and I'm a 12th generation American. And even though they came over here speaking German for many, many generations, up until about 3 generations ago, my family either spoke German or Pennsylvania Dutch. If you can't tell by the last name. But when World War II happened, my family realized the importance of speaking English. I don't know that we have to make such a big deal about it being our law, but I do believe it's important. But you know what? There's other benefits to it. The benefit of communicating, becoming a community, understanding each other. That's why it's so important. We can beat about why it needs to be the law, but that's what we get if it is the law. I actually carried a constitutional amendment here in Indiana, making English the official language. But there's benefits that we need to convince people why this is so important.
The question was regarding should English be required for lawful employment in the United States?
Yes.
I served as chairman of the Subcommittee on Immigration, Border Security, and Claims from 2003 to 2007, and in that capacity stopped amnesty from being considered in the United States House of Representatives after it was already passed out of the Senate in 2006 under the name Hagel-Martinez. We did not consider it because of my opposition and the opposition of the chairman of the full committee, as well as a lot of other Republicans that weren't happy about doing it. So we don't have amnesty today as a result of the 2006 United States House of Representatives. I believe that it would not be would not be difficult for this provision to be made law, given that if you're legally coming into the country to work, in many cases you are in a non-immigrant status, a non-immigrant visa, and it would be a requirement that I think would be useful. Right now, if you become an immigrant, if you're an immigrant and you're coming to the country as a result of a variety of things, which should be controlled ultimately, legal immigration, there is not that requirement, and you don't necessarily work, and you're not authorized to work. But to be authorized to work in the United States, I believe it would be very helpful to require them to speak English.
Thank you, Mr. Hostetler. Would anyone like to add additional information to this question?